Hello, and thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. My name is Dr. Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker with affordable homes and apartments, and I'm licensed to preach and ordained as a minister, and I have my PhD in Biblical Sacred Studies. And I'd like to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. Today I'd like to talk to you on a continued basis of my book. Okay, and again, thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. Now today, I'm going to touch up on it a little bit and talk about as much of the book as I can. We're going to talk, now the book is about, purchasing a home ownership, basically. That's what the book pretty much is about, home ownership. And a lot of people think that you have to have a lot of money. You have to be making, a large amount. You have to be making $50,000, $60,000 a year in order to afford a home, but that's not true. These programs that I have researched, this is one of them, the Section 8 Homeownership Voucher Program, as well as other programs that I have researched, allow low to moderate income individuals and families to purchase a home of their own without having to make a large amount of money. Now, yes, you do have to be making money, but you don't have to make a lot. And we know that a lot of times certain people do not have the skills. Sometimes you may not have the skills necessary to obtain a higher paying job, or you maybe have to just get what you can get, and that's definitely understandable. You may not have had the ability to go to college to get a college degree in order to get that $50,000 or $60,000 a year job. Well, these programs that I've researched over the years, I use these programs that I've researched pretty much cater to the low to moderate income individuals and families. Okay, if you're making $100,000 a year, you can buy a house from anywhere. Anybody will sell you a house, and there's lots of those houses morally available. The less expensive houses are a little more competitive in some areas than others. Some people don't know about them, and some other people do. Me as a real estate broker, I feel that it is my job, my duty, to stay privy and to stay knowledgeable on a lot of the programs that are available, that are out there, that are available. Why? Because it helps to sell houses. For example, you come to me and you say, look, I want to buy a house. Okay? And I'll tell you, okay, you got to go get pre-qualified first. Now, what does that mean to you? Nothing. You got to get pre-qualified. That's like talking gobbledygook, I don't understand what you mean, Ms. Black. What do you explain? So what I do is, a lot of times I hold workshops, which, if you stay tuned or visit my YouTube address or, watch my videos. My YouTube address is actually, sblack3001. That's one YouTube address. And then I have my real estate YouTube address at Affordable Homes and Apartments. And again, thank you for joining me today. Now today, like I said, we're talking about, I find that it's important to research the marketplace to find out about the programs that are available. Because when you come to me and you say, look, I want to buy a house, I can say, okay, wow, here, I got a book for you. You getting Section 8? I got a book for you, okay? This book will explain to you how you can own a home with using your Section 8 homeownership voucher. And I'll explain it to you briefly, while you're in my office. I do have another book that I had been talking about before, which talks to everyone else who's low to moderate income individuals and families. So if you're not getting Section 8, there's still programs for you. Even if you have bad credit, you still may be a candidate for some federal programs. And these are the programs that I try to instill in my customers, because I realize myself it's very difficult, to buy a house, especially when you're trying to get a mortgage. And if you're educated, I always say an educated consumer is my best customer. The more educated you are, the more knowledgeable you are on the subject, the easier it will be for you to get what you're looking for at the price that you need. Okay, and I say that because people, like, for example, when you're looking for a contractor, contractors want to make as much money as they can. So they will always push new. And there are some houses that you can purchase that need work, where you can get a mortgage to cover the purchase and the rehab of the price. You can look at my YouTube address, sblack3001, or you can go to Affordable Homes and Apartments. And there I also talk about some mortgage programs, some mortgage relief programs, and I've talked about a lot of different things, so you can view those videos for free. This book actually is available right now. I just don't have a copy of it yet. I was hoping to have a copy but it's on the way. And if you want to get a copy of this book right now, you can get it from my website at booksgaloreandmore.com. Okay, which will take you, what you do is you click on the picture in the website of the book that you're looking for, and then you will click on the link. It'll say you click on that link, and that link will take you to lulu.com. If you go to lulu.com directly, you will not be able to get it because you'll only be able to get it directly through my website. Okay, so you go to booksgaloreandmore.com, everything's spelled out, www.booksgaloreandmore.com, and you will then click on the link. You click on the picture, then you click on, it'll have the word link. Click link or link. So you just click that word link, or the URL, whatever it is, it'll say URL, that'll be the website. And then that will take you to another website that's where you'll be able to place your order for the book. Okay, so the book is available on Books Galore and More. So now we're going to talk a little bit about this program here. Now this program will allow you to purchase a home. Okay, now let me just explain the difference between a home ownership voucher and a rental voucher. You probably already know. Okay, a rental voucher is a voucher that you qualify for, on a waiting list or what have you, and that you obtain based on your income qualifications, and you know that you don't have to be making a lot of money to get a Section 8 home ownership voucher. I mean a Section 8 rental voucher. Okay, so what you do is you find that you get your Section 8 rental voucher, and then you find yourself place that you want to live, that you want to rent, either a house or apartment, somewhere that the landlord will accept Section 8. Okay, so now you qualify for that apartment. The landlord says, okay, you say you want it, you move into the apartment. Now sometimes the landlord will charge the maximum that Section 8 will allow. So this way that all of the money will come directly from Section 8. Other landlords will charge more, meaning that now the tenant generally would have to pay the additional 30% of whatever the rent is, right? So now keep that in mind what I say about 30%. Now for now you have your rental voucher where you're paying 30%, right? Or like let's say if your rent is $1,000 a month, now landlords will charge $1,000. Now let's say Section 8 will only pay $700. So your 30% will come to $300 a month for that $1,000 a month apartment. Of course, you'll also be responsible for your gas and electric and your cable if you have one, and your insurance or whatever other bills that you are responsible for. It's always a good idea to get renter's insurance too, because this way you're covered if anything go wrong. And we'll talk about that in detail another time. Okay, it's always good to get renter's insurance. Now, with a home ownership voucher, okay, it's a program that you qualify for, okay, and the mortgage that you would pay, okay, would usually be less than rent, okay, and you would pay 30% of that, generally across the board, okay. Now, I can't guarantee that you can be accepted in any of these programs, okay. I'm not the spokesperson for the program. What I'm doing is I've researched the market and I found out that the program is available through various government agencies, and I know where you can go to get the help and so how you can qualify for the program. I cannot endorse the program. I cannot qualify you. I don't say yes or no whether you qualify for the program. What it does is it helps me to help sell you a house. Okay, it allows, more flexibility in terms of, me being able to sell you that house that dream house that you've always wanted, that you see that you like. Okay, it helps me to help you become more educated in the process, so that you don't get ripped off and you don't just settle for anything. If you fall for anything, you'll stand for nothing. Or if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, something like that. So now, just keep that in mind, 30% of whatever the mortgage is, which is usually less. Now, that same house that you will be paying $1,000 in rent, that mortgage could be as little as $600 a month. Okay? Now, let's say that Section 8 pays the home ownership voucher program would pay $600. Let's say they even qualify you for $700. That's your budget. Remember, for the rental, let's say it's the same 3-bedroom single family house. Okay, $1,000 a month for the 3-bedroom single family. But now you're buying the same single family, not necessarily the same house, but the same composition of house, same 3-bedroom, right? The house now costs whatever the price is, but let's say now your mortgage is only $600, right? And let's say the Section 8 will allow you $700. So now you're paying nothing. You would actually pay zero, possibly. Now, like I said, I don't, the numbers and whatnot would come from someone else. Generally, like I said, across the board, generally, okay, you would pay up to 30%. You can pay zero. You can pay 30%. You can pay 10%. You can pay 5%. Whatever it is, it will be less so that you can get yourself together and use that extra money for whatever you need. Okay, you can use it for education expenses. And remember, the house belongs to you now. This is your house. You can do what you want to do in it. It's yours. I used to always talk about blasting your music and whatnot, but that only pertains to houses where they're a little further apart, or if you have your walls insulated for sound. Because you got some folks that come in the neighborhood and just start blasting music just like that, and they'll be like, hey, I don't care who lives here, I'm just going to blast my music, you know what I mean, because this is what I want to hear. But pretty much you can decorate your house almost any way you want to, it's your house. But just like the pleasures of the house is yours, so is the responsibility, okay? And in this book that I have put together, and the reason why I did it is because I had got such a tremendous response from my emails, from my YouTube videos that I put on there, and from my advertisements, and this is where I got the best response from, and I realized that there's much needed help from this across the board, not just here in Western New York, but I'm talking about in other states as well. I got calls and I've got emails and messages and from people in other states, and there are restrictions and there are stipulations that the program qualify you for. So I believe some states may not even participate in the program. If it was me, let's say I'm the one, me and my family, we going to apply for Section 8, and you don't offer it in the state that I'm in, I'm packing up and I'm moving. I'm going somewhere where I can get a job and I can get Section 8 homeownership voucher. Okay, that's the way I am. Okay, I don't know. I always told that I should be a private investigator, because when it comes to getting something, I'm like a dog on a bone, baby. I'm going after it, and and I research the market. And what it is I'll find things, that are hidden. It's a matter for public knowledge. But it's just that it's not available like on an advertisement, like on the television, on the radio. You're not going to hear about these programs openly. But they're there. They're available for you and me to take advantage of, and they're here. So what I'm doing is I am the spokesperson. I don't know who else is doing it, but I'm the spokesperson for this particular program right now. Okay? And, to say, hey, come to Affordable Homes and Apartments. Let us help you find a home of your own, okay, so that you can get in there and you can own something. Okay, you can have a home of your own. You may be over, a senior citizen. You may still qualify. I have read in a correspondence in the past that you could qualify if you're getting permanent disability. Okay, so that means Social Security disability. Okay, that means I was told Social Security is the bigger of the check and disability is the smaller of the check. So if you're getting a fixed income, you may still be able to qualify. And that goes for seniors, anyone. I mean, there's a whole lot of programs out there, and that's all I do is research the program. If you're interested in knowing, about homeownership, don't think that you're going to walk into my office and say, okay, Ms. Black, I want to buy a house. Bam, here's the keys. Okay, you're on Section 8. Show me your Section 8. Okay, yeah, here's the keys. Okay, you qualify. No, it's a process. Okay, so it means you got to have a little patience, and you got to be willing to go through the process. There are programs that I've researched where you can pay zero down for a home. Okay, you're still going to pay some money out of your pocket, but it's not for the down payment. It'll be applied somewhere else. Okay, there are programs where you can get a subsidy grant, which will reduce the amount of the mortgage. You won't actually get the grant physically in your possession. The seller, the person who owns the home, will be the one that'll take advantage of the grant. For example, if the house is $100,000, okay, and let's say in this case you're not getting Section 8, or even if you are, let's say not getting Section 8 for this scenario. The house costs $100,000, right? Now, your subsidy grant would generally be about $30,000, so that will reduce the price of the house down to $70,000, which could mean that you can now qualify for the home if you didn't qualify for it at the $100,000 mark, okay, based on your income, okay? So now you qualify for the house because of $70,000, you get that. Now, one of the stipulations that I understand, generally you have to stay in the house for at least 10 years. Otherwise, you got to pay that $30,000 back. I don't know how it has to be paid back. It probably will have to be paid back in one lump sum. Okay? But no problem, right? You're going to stay there for 10 years. Because you can build around the house. You have a house, you have something that you own, it's yours, baby. You don't understand the feeling. It is an exhilarating feeling when you have something that you can call your own. This is my house, baby. This is mine. All mine. You know what I mean? I can do what I want with it. I can call something I can call my own. But the more benefit of that is not just having something that you can call your own. You ain't got to worry about dealing with landlords. You know what I mean? You ain't got to worry about dealing with, maintenance workers and stuff like that bothering you. You know what I'm saying? However, the responsibility is all on you. Okay? And one of the main advantages to owning a home is that you can get money out of that home. You can refinance that home. You can what else is there? You can refinance it. You can get a home equity loan. You can get a second mortgage. And after those 10 years is up, you can sell it. Okay? And homes appreciate in value. That means they go up. So that $100,000 house that you bought, which you're paying only $70,000 for, then now went up to $150,000. So now you're going to sell it hopefully for $150,000. Okay, so now what $150,000 in your pocket? Now you're a millionaire status, right? Now you feel like a millionaire, yeah. I mean, by now the next 10 years, now you know how to manage money. You know how to hold on to money. You know how to, because you've been responsible now as a homeowner. You've had to pay your gas and your electric and your insurance and all the other expenses that you had, and you had to know what you needed and what you don't need. A lot of people look at a large amount of money as, oh, well, I got all this money. But when you really think about it, you have to be able to use the money sparingly, because if you don't, it's going to go, and then you're not going to have the money that you need to pay your bills with. You'd be surprised if you add up your expenses, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. I have a worksheet in the book. Okay, I have a couple of worksheets where you can actually go into the book and you can do your worksheets. Okay, you can include, if you ever come to any of my workshops, you'll have the worksheet also. And I talk about, basically the home buyer education that you're going to need, home ownership courses that you're going to need to take to qualify for this, which is free. You don't have to pay anything for the home ownership class. Okay, you have to be on Section 8 for 12 months for at least 1 year in order to qualify for this program. Okay, and there are several government agencies that have these programs. There are also employers that are instituting financing matching grant, I think it's called, matching programs, and a lot of our companies are instituting it where they have a savings plan for first-time home buyer. They're instituting this, and some already have it across the board. I noticed in Rochester they have a lot of it, where they have what the employer would match your money with. Every dollar that you save, they would match it with something. I don't know how much they match it with. There are some financing institutions that also do that. For every dollar that you save in their financial institution, they will match it, or they will match a portion of it, or what have you, and that money will then be used, or it has to be used towards purchasing a home. Okay, it has to be used towards purchasing a home, and up to a certain amount of money, of course. Okay, and more than likely, I'm sure that the reason why the financial institutions do it is because they're looking for you to buy a home, get your mortgage through them. Okay, the company, gets an incentive because, now you have to keep your job in order to pay the mortgage. You're going to be, hopefully, hold on to the job, you know what I mean, and you won't be, you'll be more responsible. Okay, let me just go, I just want to talk about this worksheet I have. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, it's called, one is a 2-page worksheet, right? And it's a current monthly and expected monthly expense worksheet. Okay, and what it talks, it gives you room to put everything down. Now, some of the numbers you're not going to know, so I'll work together with you in terms of getting those numbers. Okay, if you walk into any other real estate company and you say, I want to buy a house, all they're going to do is show you a house. I know there's a lot of companies, all they want to do is show you the house because they don't have the qualifications or the time to be able to deal with you in terms of offering you these additional services. Now, I know that in order for you to buy a house, you have to get a mortgage, right? Unless you have the cash. A lot of people don't have the cash to buy the house, so you're going to need to get a mortgage. Now, do you know anything about getting a mortgage? Do you know where to start? Most people do not. Okay? You want a home, but the reason why a lot of people end up not buying a home is because of lack of knowledge. Okay, and it even says it in the Bible, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. That's why I said an educated consumer is my best customer. And I forgot where I got that from. Somebody said it once somewhere. But an educated consumer is my best customer. Okay, if you allow me to educate you, if you allow me to instill some knowledge into you about home ownership and about the financing programs and about mortgages and stuff, then you are one of my best customers. Why? Because now you are knowledgeable on the program. You have some information to go by, And the thing is, you will benefit because it's not just, so I can sell a house and make my commission. You're going to benefit from this because you don't get ripped off. It's very essential that you know. You have to realize that this world is based on the dollar bill. Okay, and most people are out to make all the money that they can at whatever cost they can. A lot of people don't have morals. They don't have scruples. You know, you probably, well, what is a scruple? Okay, whatever. But, you know, they don't have morals. You know, they don't care about you and they don't care about me. All they care about is making money. Okay, and if they can charge you, okay, let me give you an example. If you go to I don't even want to say the name, but there's a a tire shop on Main Street, right? Go there, and they will charge this. I mean, this man looked me right in my eyes and gave me a quote for an alternator for $500. I looked at him. I said $500, and he looked me squares in my eyes. I go to my mechanic, and he tells me it's 100 and something. I can get it to you for 100 and something. You get the alternator, I put the alternator on. I got another quote for 2. You know what I mean? So you have to know. You know, you don't fall for the first thing that comes out there. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important to be educated. Because when you're educated and a little knowledgeable on the situation, you can pass up certain things. You know, people come to you and it'll sound like a great deal. They'll sell you the world if you'll buy it. Right? Oh, I got this for you. I got this for you. It's a great deal. Come on and buy. You know, sign in now. Okay? Well, if it's so great, it'll be there for me tomorrow. Give me an opportunity. Let me go talk to my family or to the people who need to know so that I can share this information with them, and then I'll get back to you and I'll let you know what my answer is tomorrow or next week. You know, there's this gas company that keeps calling me, and they probably call you up to try to get you, ask you questions talking about how you can save money or that you're eligible for a reduced amount in your gas or electric bill. And I'm like, I looked them up, and it's too much going on wrong with them. But they want you to give them your number. They said, okay, next month our name is going to appear on your bill. I said, no, it's not. Make sure if they call you up, just try to hang up on them. Because a lot of times these people run, if you're knowledgeable on these things, oh, I can take advantage of one that. No, you're going to end up paying more because they got to get the gas from them. So, you know, that's why I say you got to be educated. There's too many scams. People are looking too much for, a victim. For people that they can take advantage of. You know, so I always try to, and then when you do get the home, you're going to be looking for a contractor sometimes. You know, when you look for a contractor, you have to know what work it is that you need in that house. And you have to know what work they're going to perform for you. And you tell them what you want as the homeowner. You don't let them come and do what they want to do. Because a lot of times what they want to do is going to cost more than what you're able to do. Even if you're getting a mortgage for it. You know, you still shop around. You get the lowest and the best estimate. And that's the way I do it, you know. I mean, people, I don't care. I'm trying to make money too. I'm trying to benefit from this. So I'm not going to pay you, all my money, right? I'm going to save as much money as I can, and I'm going to find a way to get the job done as cheap as I can. So you have to be educated about mortgages. You need to be educated about home ownership. When you look at a home, I got in here, I talk about inspecting a home. It's always a good idea to get an inspector. I talk about, what to look for. I show you what to look for. I looked at one house and it had a mud pile in the pantry room. And I realized what that is. That's termites. That's termites. That's just not discoloration. That's termites in there. That has to be treated. So an inspector, I got in here exactly what an inspector would look for. And when you see it in the house, you'll be able to identify it. I have that in here because I'm a licensed real estate broker. So I know all these things, And I talk about the different programs that will be available to you. This one only talks about Section 8. This one only talks about Section 8 program, okay, and how you can get your Section 8 home ownership voucher, how you can qualify for it, okay, and you may be able to combine it with other programs, okay. Like I said, there's a program where you can get a no down payment. There's another program where you can possibly qualify for a subsidy grant, which will reduce the cost of the mortgage, okay. There's low interest rate loans, okay, that you can get from the financial institution of your choice. And there are a whole lot of programs out there that we can take advantage of that we don't know. Maybe your employer might even offer a program. Maybe even the financial institution where you have your money at, they may have a program for you. So there's a lot of things that you need. You're going to be making phone calls. But see, that's what we're here for. That's what Affordable Homes and Apartments does. That's what we do. We do all the work so you don't have to. You can go to work and rest your mind at ease. But you're the one that make the final decision. Nobody makes a decision for you unless you make that decision. Okay, so I want to just thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. And I want to ask you to join me again next week right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20. Wednesdays 6:30 to 7 and Saturdays from 12:30 to 1 in the afternoon. You can visit my YouTube address at sblack3001 and Affordable Homes and Apartments. Okay, you can visit either one of those YouTube addresses for any videos that I have talked about in the past about mortgages or what have you. And I believe that this is a great book because there are a lot of people on Section 8. There are a lot of people that are waiting to get a rental voucher. But because there's so many, the waiting list is closed in a lot of cases. If the waiting list was not closed, if you could go and just say, if one person a month or a week or a day could actually own their own home, that would make that rental slot available. Now that person that needs to rent can now rent. And now you that been renting, now you can own. So it will be a constant transition, That's why they call money currency, because it's meant to flow. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. And like I said, owning a home is one of the greatest advantages to being alive. I mean, there are other benefits. I guess I haven't taken advantage of them yet. But when you own a home, you own something. You own a car, that's not so much. Okay, a nice car, yeah, I can flash the car. But, I've always said a home is the best over the car. You need a car, yeah, fine. But don't give me a Lexus and I'm renting an apartment, or and my Section 8 is paying my rent. Don't give me, an Infiniti, and I can't afford the rent that I'm paying, If I want an Infiniti, I was told that there was one preacher, he bought him a nice house and he had a Mahoopta he was still driving. And the people around him was complaining. I'm like, that's none of your business. Anyway, I want to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. And I'm asking you to go to my website at Books Galore and More and get your copy of Buy a Home with Your Section 8 Home Ownership Voucher today. And actually, see you next week. Holla at a sister. I'll see you next week right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20. And please visit my YouTube address at SBlack 3001 and Affordable Homes and Apartments. So holla at a sister. I will see you next week right here